Welcome, I'm Jon Caldara, president of the Independence Institute and your devil's advocate. Later on, we're going to talk about the races with a couple professionals, don't you know? But first, let's bring government a little closer to your county. You have county commissioners, but do they represent you? Do you even get to elect them? Maybe not. One of those guys who'd like to be a county commissioner, Gary Cooper, love all the movies. You did a great job from up in Boulder.
Got upshot a lot. I look taller than.
That's good. That's good. And Representative Susan Beckman. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, John.
All right, now we've been friends for a long time, and I'm sorry about that. It cost you votes. But before you were a state representative, you were a county commissioner. Start from the large part. Why are counties important? I mean, they don't get the same attention as people who run for the legislature, but I think they do a lot more.
I would agree. I was county commissioner in Arapahoe County for 12 years, and I think people underestimate the role of a county commissioner. It's a big job. It's legislative, it's executive, and it's quasi-judicial, all wrapped in one. Counties are very large. They administer the programs that the state and the federal government require them, so the administrative arm of the state, and they have a large group of people that they're providing direct services to. So it's a big job. It impacts people day in, day out, day in.
What's fascinating for me about a county commission is it's a completely different structure. People have city councils. City councils hire a city manager. It's kind of like the baseball team manager. They do their 3 years and they move up and they go someplace else. And city councils are how to put it, they're rah-rah teams for their coach, and the coach is the city manager. But county commissioners, there's no county manager. They are hands-on. It's a full-time gig. It's not a volunteer gig. I think it's a better model, don't you?
Well, I think it's a good model. The one that we have doesn't represent the citizens of Boulder County very well because each...
Let's jump into that in a second, but compared to a city model,
absolutely.
When you elect a county commissioner, that guy is working full-time. That's it. There's no middleman. He doesn't just do one meeting every other week. He's in it.
Right. Responsibility personally vests here.
Right. All right. 20 years ago, you guys in Arapahoe County changed from 3 commissioners to 5 commissioners. Why?
At that time, they actually had a blow up with the county manager. And the activists at that time said, we want direct governance. And so we understand the county's really big. It'd be difficult to do it with 3. We're going to have 5 commissioners, but no county administrator.
So you guys actually had what cities have. You had a city manager, but it was a county manager.
And it did not end well. There was too much between the people and the staff that work at the county. And so we have a unique model, a very large county without a county administrator, but really high quality of service and responsibility and accountability. So it works really well for Arapahoe County.
All right, let's go to my county, which is your county.
Yes.
Now, Boulder County, like a lot of counties, have 3 commissioners.
Correct.
And they all come from different districts.
Yes.
This is terrific because I've got someone who represents me in my part of the county, and somebody else in the Longmont area has a county commissioner in their part of the county and the third part of the county. And they're there for representing the people of their district, right?
Theoretically, that's their original thought, but we need to go to the live in your district, be voted in only by the citizens in your district.
What do you mean?
Well, right now I'm running for District 3 in Boulder County.
Which is where, by the way?
Lafayette area, the southeast corner of the county. And it's a city or a county-wide vote. In other words, I live in Lafayette, but the citizens of Boulder City and all of the other people are going to vote me in or my opposition. So Boulder City has so much power over the county.
Right. Let me spell this out again, because this is so asinine. So you or the guy who you're running against are from one district. What district number is it?
District 3.
And which district is the city of Boulder in?
They're in District 1.
All right, so basically 2 different places, 2 different characteristics, but you're elected by all 3 districts to represent them. So I get to vote on whether or not you should represent Lafayette.
Right.
That makes no sense. I don't live there. And so basically in Boulder, District 1 decides who
Every
represents
election.
everybody. And was that the way back in Arapahoe County, that you had these at-large districts?
The original way was 3 commissioners and 1 at-large. Everybody voted on the 3
Right.
commissioners, and they lived within districts. When they went to 5, we have districts now. We don't have any at-large county commissioners, and so you represent a district, and they elect you or unelect you. And I know that direct representation, I've seen county commissioners that don't do as their district wants them to do, and they lose at the primary or they lose at the election. And so it's direct governance and direct representation. It works well. And the population centers are not necessarily, when I was a commissioner, they didn't necessarily represent Littleton and Centennial. They had different needs, different wants, different values, and so I was their advocate for that representation and customer service. It worked so much better.
I'm trying to think of a right analogy, and I'm having a hard time with it. You're running for a state house, and imagine if your state district, along with all the other 64 districts, decided who won in your seat. That makes no sense. Yet so many counties across Colorado still do it the way Boulder does it, which says, so if you're elected to District 2, why in the world would you not care about what somebody in District 1 thinks? In other words, you basically have 3 at-large districts. Why don't we just be honest and just call them 3 at-large districts?
Well, the state, the Colorado revised statutes dictate how we act and what we're doing. I actually authored a petition to change Boulder County into a 5-district represented by the people in their district and voted by those people. The county commissioners had an opportunity to put that on the ballot and rejected that ballot because that then minimizes their power and authority. Mm-hmm. And they don't listen well, and they do what they want and direct where we're going.
So I heard 2 things.
Okay.
One, I heard that you have to, by law, have districts, even if they are elected at large, and that's a state law.
It's in the Constitution, actually,
really? Yeah.
1892, but counties were tiny back then, right? And it allowed for you to change, after 70,000 people, you could change how many county commissioners you had and the structure. But, a long time ago, they were dealing with such smaller populations, and I think it was a way to have continuity with big land masses and not a lot of people. So in 1890...
And that's in the Constitution. So if we want to change that, it has to be a constitutional change, which would take 55% vote. But larger counties can fix this the way you fixed it in Arapahoe. I know Douglas has done that, and other counties have done that. And you're telling me, but you're telling me, Boulder, the 3 in power decided not to put it on the ballot.
Exactly.
So what was the vote on that? I'm curious.
It was 3-0.
I am shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
Feel free to go to the August 2nd meeting and watch what they had to say about the citizens of Boulder County. It is appalling.
What do they say?
Well, we couldn't, if we divide into 5 people or 5 county or districts, I'm sorry, there's no way we could figure out a way to elect appropriate people there so that they would do good for the county as the 3 are now doing. There would be too much conflict.
As Mel Brooks once said, it's good to be king.
Yeah, one of them actually said diversity and thought. She didn't think about that. Diversity to her was all about color.
Isn't it amazing? There's no diversity of thought doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
All right, just let's wrap this up. How has it worked in Arapahoe County? You've been there and served on it. To have districts represented by district people, you were elected that way. Mm-hmm. From the insider point of view, how did it work?
I loved being a commissioner in Arapahoe County because I had a district and my communities were, I fought for them, I worked with them, I was an advocate for them, I made sure they had good customer service. Even though you did represent, other interests in the county, it just was so direct, it was so community oriented, and I felt like every day I went to work and made a difference because I was representing the people that voted for me and put me there. Arapahoe County is known as a really extremely well managed county. They provide exceptional services. They have high caseloads of all the human service things that we're required to do for the state. But we do a very good job. They did a very good job, and I was proud of that. I don't know in any other structure how these small communities would have representation, because some of their issues...
They don't need it. They're small communities.
Yeah.
But people want to get involved in this fight or learn a bit more. Is there some place that they can go?
Gary Cooper 4 Boulder.com is my website.
Do you plan on petitioning this thing onto the ballot?
I tried to petition it on, then we didn't have time. After this next election, we will petition it on. It's going to be on the 2020 ballot.
Good to do. Well, good luck with that. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
Stay tuned.